Survival movies, we've seen those can be good. Now, M. Night Shyamalan's gonna take on that genre. The guy has done good movies before. I wasn't imagining that, right? He's done good movies in his life. After Earth. So After Earth is set in the future. Will Smith is this really stoic, emotionless soldier, and his son in real life, Jaden Smith, plays his son in this movie. After that, they crash land on this planet full of predators. Will Smith's legs have been broken. He can't go out there and help Jaden Smith because they gotta, go find the tail section of the plane. Who knows? There might be survivors in the tail section of the plane that'll last for about one season. They need to get a beacon from it, but Jaden Smith's the only one who can go. Jaden Smith has that little Omni tool from Mass Effect, so Will Smith can talk to him through there. Now we have our adventure. By adventure, I mean slow survival movie with Will Smith's kid in it. The premise of this movie's cool enough. There are predators out there, it's a really dangerous wilderness environment. Jaden Smith has to survive. And if it had better direction and better execution, it would actually be good. As it stands though, this movie was boring. The underlying tone of the movie is the fact that Jaden Smith's character and Will Smith's character are gonna bond as father and son because Will Smith is really distant, which makes him very boring. Will Smith brings all he can to the table. You can see a couple of moments of conflict where he's like, I'm not supposed to be emotional, but I am. All in all though, it's almost like M. Night Shyamalan was like, all right, Will Smith, just imagine you being Mace Windu in the prequels. Yeah, he was kind of boring, out of touch. These are the only two characters we have basically in the entire movie. The fact that 50% of that crew is boring and out of touch, and the fact that the other half is uninteresting and not really as good of an actor as the guy playing the boring guy. Will Smith's son is not as good as him. That's not good either. His name is Jaden Smith. It should be Jaden gonna get work no matter what. He's a legacy child. Directors aren't gonna be like, no, I don't want you in my movie. But the fact is, he has a little bit of work to go before I can be like, oh, he's a great actor. Jaden Smith needs a director who can show him how to be all he can be. A director that can help him hone his craft, Pairing Jaden Smith up with the director of The Happening. Did you guys see the acting in there? I don't need to say more. That's not good. That's not gonna help him out. Just set him like 3 steps back. M. Night Shyamalan's no stranger to slow movies. Generally speaking, you see his movies, you're like, yeah, they're all slow. But his first batch of movies, we'll call them the ones that were good, slow as they may be, they were interesting stories. Interesting stories, good actors. We had intrigue in there where we're like, where's it going? And we know it's building to something. Now we're watching a boring movie unfold with actors who play boring people and boring boredom and all that boringness. Some things don't make sense in the movie either. No spoiler here, but there's this one scene where this predator clearly means to kill Jaden Smith. Later on in this movie, that predator saves his life. Why? I have no idea. I saw the movie and I just don't know. You can almost argue that Jaden Smith kinda helped it out, but not really. Predators don't see shit that way. They're not gonna be like, oh hey, thanks for doing me a solid, man, I owe ya. I'm an animal. I see you again, I'm gonna be like, hey food, there you are. And now you're dead. I just see things like that as convenient ways to get the characters out of tough spots. So one of the premises in this movie is Jaden Smith is supposed to conquer his fear. That's how he's gonna grow as a character. And he'll become just like Will Smith, someone who has already conquered his fear, but Will Smith is an emotionless asshole. So apparently this movie goes on the premise that in order to conquer your fear, you're supposed to become an emotionless asshole. So we're rooting for this kid to become an emotionless asshole like his emotionless asshole father, yet we're also supposed to care about their father-son bonding experience. Something that emotionless assholes aren't supposed to care about, so why should we? You have conflicting messages right there. Now I'm gonna give you a spoiler warning here. I'm gonna talk about the end of this movie. If you don't want the spoilers, cover your ears, and when you see this spoiler warning go away, spoilers are done. There's just something at the end of this movie I can't get over, and I just don't like it. And I just want to tell you how I think they could have made it better. In the really abrupt and sudden ending in this movie, Will Smith and Jaden Smith, they both live. Jaden Smith sees Will Smith stands up off the table, and then he salutes his kid. Then Jaden Smith runs up, they give each other a hug, you see a tear come out of Will Smith's eye. Alright, I get it. But that just bothers me. The fact that Will Smith stands up and his first reaction is to salute his kid like a soldier shows me that their father-son bond, the thing that we're supposed to be rooting for through this entire movie, it hasn't been growing at all, and it hasn't grown. Will Smith saluting Jaden Smith, all that shows me is that Will Smith respects him as a soldier, but that's it. I thought we were supposed to root for their father-son bond. I thought we were supposed to watch that grow. How about this scenario? Will Smith stands up, runs over to Jaden Smith, gives him a hug. They both embrace that, and then Jaden Smith pulls away, and then he goes to salute his dad. His dad grabs his hand, puts it down, and then Will Smith salutes Jaden Smith. That shows that Will Smith's first reaction was to be a loving father, not a soldier, which would be new, which would be growth, and that he does respect Jaden Smith as a soldier also. But the soldier aspect is second. The father aspect, that's first. Family values, mom would be proud. There you go. But no, we're stuck with the fact that Will Smith respects Jaden Smith as a soldier. And if you're gonna say that embrace and tear out of Will Smith's eye is his growth, you could argue that actions speak louder than words. The fact that he saluted him first shows that he just views him as a soldier. That whole tear thing is probably something Will Smith will just pass off as a momentary weakness, a lapse in judgment that he will never allow to happen again, because he's a hard individual. I don't know, that shit just bothered me. I like a good survival movie as much as the next guy, but in the end, the only survival scenario is how long I can actually sit through this movie. The more I talk about it, the more I don't like it. I like sci-fi, I like survival movies, I liked Shyamalan at one point. This should have been gold, or at least really good silver, but no, it's not. In the end, I'm gonna say After Earth is dog shit. I've rooted for this guy for a while. I think I gotta throw in that towel. All right, After Earth, have you seen it? What's your favorite sci-fi movie that's not, Star Trek or Star Wars? Something else that's like, oh, sci-fi, that's a cool one. And sometimes I forget about that one. Whatever it is, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.